Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic Remastered, and this time we take a look at the 1998 Honda Accord Wagon SiR. The Honda Accord Wagon, one of my favourite cars, and this one has one of my favourite race mods, the classic BTCC race mod, but on a wagon. We saw this recently with the Primera as well. The Primera can have the BTCC livery on it as well, and it just looks amazing. It makes you wish that this was a classic car that actually raced. Now, admittedly, this one did actually get a little bit closer, in a way, to the Primera, because in, I think it was 2015, Honda actually ran the Civic Wagon. Bizarre choice, because the Type R didn't exist at the time, and I think the quickest Civic was actually the Civic Tourer, which was weird. But so they did use for a year the Civic Tourer. Unfortunately, no one else would pick up the bodies, so they're sort of lost the time now. But yeah, this one, technically speaking, did actually get closer than you expect. I'm also just looking at that rear wing. That could have someone's eye out. That is insane. Other than that, the Accord Wagon, we've had 3 of these. None of them are the same. The 96 Accord Wagon's based on the previous gen. And the 97 Accord Wagon, interestingly actually, is the 4-wheel drive version, which was slow, really slow. And the 96 had a 4-speed automatic. I suspect this might as well, so yeah, I'm not expecting this to be as quick as that Primera wagon, which was actually a half-decent vehicle, but it'll look good while doing it. That's the important part. Front engine, front-wheel drive, 307 horsepower, 1,221 kilos. That actually isn't that lighter than that Subaru Impreza rally car we had not long ago? That's really funny. This is a 4-speed. Oh god. Anyways, to find out how the Honda Accord Wagon SiR is going to get along, it is going to have 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track in order to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Suzuki Escudo Pikes Peak version, and that car set a time of a 25.696. The Accord Wagon is unlikely to beat that. In terms of where this is going to go, the 96 Accord Wagon set a time of a 31.3, I think it was. So, I guess sort of near there. That made, I think, like 320 horsepower, and was also lighter than this by quite a margin. So, I am expecting this to be slower than that. The 4-wheel drive Accord Wagon set a time of like a 32.7 or something, and that really had to be dragged out of it. This should be quicker because it's front-wheel drive, it's lighter, and it is quicker than that, as one would expect. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's kind of done its job already. Its job was to be slightly quicker than the 97 and slightly slower than the 96, so anything else we can gain out of this is really just for bragging rights. Yeah, Hondas are not set up to be automatics, says the guy who's actually had 4 automatic Hondas in my life, and never a manual, which is going to make the purists angry. But yeah, in this game, they are not set up for these sort of gearboxes because they are naturally aspirated, which means they make no torque whatsoever, and yeah, so you're constantly having to sort of switch between first and second to keep it going, which does bugger the handling a little bit, which is a shame because this actually drives quite nice if it was just sort of left to it. Honestly, you know what, those people who say like, oh, I really wish this series was on a longer course, I kind of do too while I'm driving something like this, because if it was on a longer course, this would actually stand half a chance of being alright. But it doesn't because it's on this one. I would like a 31.7 out of this. Am I being cheeky with that? Probably. Come on, Accord Wagon. We can do this. You've got British racing heritage in you. Well, this one's based on a Japanese Accord, but, you know, still. These were not designed and built in Swindon, unlike the actual BTCC Accords, but you know, nevertheless. If you ask most people, all you have to do is just draw the livery on a car and instantly that means it is the car. You know, that's how that works. 31.762. Honestly, that could have been a little bit quicker. I think if you do, it's one of those where if you go round and round and round and round, you could get these sort of little chips out of that lap time. There is probably a 31.6 in there somewhere. I'm not going to find it, but it is probably there. So, yeah, I'll sit happily with that. But, yeah, I mean, you can hear it as it goes round. First gear is actually alright in this. Its second gear is just an absolute slog. And it kills all momentum. So, it's just one of those cars where it's all about keeping up the momentum and maximising. Yeah, I like it how I was exactly 2 seconds quicker on that second lap. Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a little bit of time there, but according to that other sector 3 is a bit all over the place. Like I say, there's definitely a 31.6 in there. I'll happily say that, but trying to extract it out of it, you just have to go round and round. It'll be like getting blood from a stone. Yeah, not a bad time overall, considering the gearbox. Again, if this had a proper 6-speed manual in it, I would be really disappointed with that. I'd be expecting at least a low 31, 31.0, 31.1. I don't think it'd be as quick as Primera. Primera had more power, I think, but still. Yeah. But then again, that's what real Accords are for. How did the 98 Accord SiRT do? From what I remember, that wasn't too bad of a vehicle, right? I don't know. Anyways, a 31.762 will place it into 466th place. Goes in between the Toyota XYR Detroit Show version and the Mazda Demio LXG package, which is the 1.3 Demio. It is quicker than a Ford Ka and a Shelby GT500. There you go. It's quicker than a Stagey RS4V, which was also entrenched with a really bad gearbox, so that's something worth pointing out. Quicker than a Lotus Elise Sport 135. I mean, it's slower than a Daihatsu Move and an 83 Celica and a Dodge Charger, but, you know, there's no real excuses for it. It's just got a bad gearbox. It's quicker than a Legnum 24ST. That's the four-wheel drive Legnum. And that had a turbocharger on it actually as well. So, yeah, I mean, it's quicker than a bunch of other wagons, quicker than a Legnum, quicker than a Ford Taurus SHO. Actually, to be honest with you, when you put it in sort of comparison like that, it ain't done too bad. Well done, Accord Wagon. We managed to find positive. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Join me next time when I will be driving something completely different and hopefully one that has more than 4 gears. Until then, farewell.